Hello and welcome to Cindershadow Gaming. I'm your host Cindershadow, and today we're going to talk about some special Magic cards that only Wizards of the Coast employees can get. Well, a little bit late, but the cards have finally been revealed for the Heroes of the Realm 2019 edition. It's only seemingly 2 years late, but they just seem, I think they come out like they take so long because they're recognizing stuff that has happened in 2019 for the Wizards of the Coast employees that these cards were made for. Now these cards are completely out of the box. They're black bordered, but they're never really going to see play. There's something that's going to go on a shelf and cherished and be quite valuable because they were made in the names of these people. So we're going to go through them real quick, and I'll give you some thoughts on what's going on here. Also, I haven't really read these, so you'll probably get some more first impressions from me. I just have skimmed them over. So first off, I absolutely love the art of this first one. It's the War of the Spark. These are all tied into certain products that came out for Wizards of the Coast starting in 2019, 2020, and so on. So War of the Spark, for 1 black and 3 generic, you get a Saga enchantment. Each player may put a Planeswalker or Zombie card from War of the Spark from their hand or graveyard onto the battlefield. That's pretty crazy. It was a war, so the Saga commemorating the War of the Spark is pretty interesting. And really, you're seeing zombies and planeswalkers fight each other, so it kind of makes sense in that sense. The second part of the Saga is sacrifice any number of creatures and or planeswalkers. Each opponent sacrifices that many creatures and or planeswalkers. So it kind of just keeps the balance, you know, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, planeswalker for a planeswalker. And then 3, exile up to 1 target Bolas and then proliferate 3 times. So the proliferate is very interesting because it's going to give more loyalty to planeswalkers. Exile target 1, exile a Bolas while Bolas was the losing side of the war. He was exiled from Ravnica and put into some dimension that pretty much jailed him with Ugin alongside of him. It would have been interesting if it said exile target 1 Bolas and 1 Ugin or 1 Ugin. But I think the wording on that would have been very difficult. So this has been accredited to Chris Seaman, and you got Melissa DiToro there from Wizards of the Coast signing off with the card. And I believe the bottom name is the employee that works for Wizards. So this, I love the artwork for this. The fact that they've commissioned this directly for Wizards of the Coast employees is kind of neat in that sense. Is this something that's out there? I don't know. It's hard to say. The next card that I have is Mintasha, Honored One. I hope I say that right. It's a 2 green and 2 generic, 3/3 legendary snow creature elk. So is this to represent Oko and the elves, and not the elves, the elk that became the elk winter at this point? I'm sorry. I just find this absolutely hilarious that this is pretty much giving a nod to Oko and the elkening of magic. That's probably the easiest way I can put it. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you may open a sealed magic booster pack and put cards from the bottom of your booster pile in a random order. Spells you cast have Booster Cascade. It's like Cascade, but you use your booster pile rather than your library. That's kind of interesting. Quite broken. It's from a sealed magic booster pack. So yeah, you know, it's kind of flipping the coin. And this one went to Luga. I can't even pronounce that last name, let alone see it properly. Smeal. I'm not even going to attempt it. Anyway, you can read the last name there. And yeah, Melissa Del Toro is there, which I think was the art director on these. And that's why that name is there. The third one is the Champions of Archery. For 1 red 3 generic, you get a 1/4 human archer, legendary creature. It also has a venture, so this is back in Throne of Eldraine. A lot of this is from Throne of Eldraine. So the creature side of it is it's got reach. Commanders you control get +X+0, where X is the number of commanders you control. So in most cases, +1. Sometimes +2 because you have partner. And then the sorcery / venture, you may put a legendary creature card from your hand into the command zone. It's also your commander. That's quite interesting. So the most it gives is +2/+0. This actually isn't that bad of a card. The join the group is 1 red and 2 generic. It's not bad. It would be something that you might see in a specialty product, which this really is. So this went to Donato Green Cola. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. So that's another neat rendition of a card. This one is commemorating some Secret Lair stuff. You guys know what I think of the Secret Lairs. It's specialty cards like this that are just Keeper of the Secret Lair. For 1 blue, 1 generic, you get a 2/1 Merfolk Wizard legendary creature. It has flash. You may cast Secret Lair spells as though they had flash. Secret Lair spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. That's an interesting add-on. Like, all of these, to me, scream like they're unglued or silver bordered cards. They're black bordered, meaning if these people did want to use these in decks, they could. Now, would they make a Secret Lair set out of this? That's a possibility, and I hope not, because no one wants to see these cards in like Legacy and Vintage for Magic the Gathering, let alone Commander. A lot of these, like I said, they're commemorating stuff. Like, we've also got, what is it, Robot Chicken got commemorated when they came out with the show. And they've done this in the past with certain cards and everything like that. This one went to Brigida Roca. Once again, another employee of Wizards of the Coast. Now, it says 2 of 7, so there is 2 other cards that I haven't seen. And the last card that came out in this set was the Collecti Gull. It's 1 white, 2 generic for a 1/1 creature bird. Once again, it's an adventure back to Throne of Eldraine. It's got flying and protection from common. Wow, that's a pretty unique effect. So if your card is a common, this has protection to it. But how does that work if it's ever been printed at uncommon or rare? I don't, like, if they've upshifted or downshifted, does it still say common? Or is it dependent on the type of set it's been from? So that's a very interesting thought there. You know, like, these, once again, are not meant to be serious cards. Whenever Collecti Gull attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a Booster Fun card, you may put it into your hand. Now, Booster Fun was a whole article they came out with, starting with Throne of Eldraine and continuing. There's a little bit more details behind that, so it's kind of hokey in that sense. And it really was the start of the Fire design, where they have the top-down effect. So I don't see how Booster Fun is an appropriate name at this point. Return target Booster Fun card from your graveyard to your hand. For the sorcery adventure, only the best for 1 white and 1 generic. I don't see these cards from the Booster Fun thing as the best cards in Magic. I see them probably as some of the most powerful cards that ever have been printed in the history of Magic, and it has done nothing but warp the game into an existence that people don't want to play the game. It's creating a very disheartening attitude towards it. Well, that's what I got. Like, these were really neat. I couldn't help not to bring them up. Thoughts on them? They're neat things to see Wizards of the Coast employees get. I know there's other things that go on with the company that aren't so nice, like the pay rate for some of them are quite a bit lower, and it just seems that there's a lot more interns. So if they're working towards one of these cards, maybe they can make a little bit more off of it and let it go onto the open market and let it do its thing, because we've seen cards like this in the past and they get traded around. They do, they do. Usually someone's coercing them to get the card out of them, and then it gets traded around. So then they become quite valuable and quite rare and quite fun in the long term. That is the whole point of these cards, is to actually promote the fun of the product. And that is the one thing I do enjoy about Magic the Gathering, is how fun the game I find is. It depends on the day. Standard and modern, you know, those types of formats are what make what you are. There is a lot of things wrong with them, but if you're at a kitchen table with your friends, if you're enjoying a live stream, if you're sitting there having fun during my live streams and we have a battle and that is enjoyable, that's what I enjoy about the game. It brings the community together, and that's what these cards are meant to do, is more have a unique sense of style behind them and just promote the game and have fun with it. And because the underlying message is there for these, it's not that bad of a idea, and I hope they do make more of these in the future, just so it gives us something more to talk about. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will talk to you guys next time, and it is very important if you do subscribe, because every time I do upload lately, I am losing subscribers from the way the algorithm works, so that is very important. Also, if you do want to check out the channel perks and help the channel somewhere, those links are down below for memberships and Patreon. We will catch you guys all next time.